Welcome to my 5-minute review. In this, we're not really going to be talking about what happens in the game specifically, just more about the optimization of the game, how the game feels, how the game plays, stuff like that. I want to review it in a way to where nothing's spoiled on this 10-year-old game. First things first, it's a 10-year-old game. That's $20. And it's only 4 hours long. It was kind of a hard purchase for me because of this, but I really wanted to play this. One of my favorite content creators played it. I wanted to go watch the video, but I didn't want myself spoiled on it because I've heard it was such a good game, so I had to buy it and just play it, get it over with. So first thing I'll say is, don't rush out and buy this game. Wait for it to go on sale if it does go on sale. I'm pretty sure it wasn't on sale when I bought it. I paid $20 for it just so I could play it. Skipping right along into how the game looks. The game looks pretty good. I don't know how large the studio is that made it. I don't know if it's an indie dev or if there was multiple people that worked on it or how big they are in general. I don't know. But the game looks pretty good. But again, at the price point for the amount of issues that I did have, the game wasn't as smooth as I would expect it to be. There was hiccups all the time. I would have constant frame skips and stuff like that, and no, it's not my computer. I play much more demanding games. So it's some kind of optimization problem with the game. Is it still playable? Yeah, but kind of takes you out of the experience when you're trying to enjoy a narrative-driven game. I would run into texture breaks all the time where you could see through things like rocks, the ground, just a lot of small things that, again, it's not super terrible and it wasn't crazily frequent, but it was noticeable and you will find them. The biggest complaint I'd have about how the game looked is the day and night cycle. If you're looking at the sky, just enjoying it because it does look good as it's transitioning from day to night. But the transition doesn't really complete. It goes from day to night. The sun just abruptly disappears from the sky, and the moon appears, wherever the moon appears. I don't know. It's kind of startling, especially when you're just playing the game, because it does go from a dusk feel to just being nighttime. And it's a little bit better in the morning, going from night to dawn, but not much better. It's not a good feeling. Navigation, it's okay, but you will get stuck on everything always. Small rock too big for your this tall too big for your foot to come up, you're stuck on it. You're half an inch over too much and a rock's leaning over, you get stuck on it. You don't shear off of it like you would expect to, or like you do in other games. You just abruptly stop and you're just stuck. Like I hate when a game does that. It would be nice if you're close enough to the edge to where it'll, shear you off if you're glancing in that direction. But no, you hit it and you stop all movements. It's not good. I've read a lot of the reviews on Steam. A lot of them talk about getting lost on the map and stuff like that. I don't see that as being concerned if you're getting lost on the map. I feel bad. I really do. It's a pretty easy map to navigate. First thing you get is a nice map with a compass. And it tells you northeast, southwest. Navigation's pretty easy in this game. As you get to caches, there will be a map on it, and you can write down more information, transfer it onto your map, and it makes navigation a little bit easier because it kind of highlights the actual route you should be taking. And you'll run into these pretty frequently. I think there's like 9 or 10 around the map. Voice acting, sounds, everything like that, phenomenal. The music, awesome. It's actually crazy how good everything on this game sounds. The audio quality, the voice acting is phenomenal. Just everything about the audio in it, A++. Like, I have to give it to them on that they really did an amazing job on it. Side bit for completionists: if you're a completionist and you like getting all the rewards in a game and 100%ing it, there's only 10 things that you have to do. None of them are hidden, so you can go onto the Steam page, check it out, and see what it is that you need to complete. You find a turtle, you get attacked by a raccoon, you play some tapes. Like, it's all pretty easy, and it's something else to add to your list if you're a completionist. Talk about a little bit more about time to complete. I finished the game in I think like 4 hours. I can't remember if it was 4 hours it took me to beat it, or if I beat it a little bit more than that before going back and doing the free roam option. There is a free roam option if you want to go enjoy it, or you're making your own video on it. And now my highest praise and my biggest complaint: the narrative direction. While I think the story was phenomenal, it was hard for me to relate to any of it. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are going to relate to it a lot because of certain things that you'll find out in the very beginning. But for me, I didn't relate to much of it, but I was still pretty engaged with the story it was telling because it did a really good job at telling us the story. There were heartfelt moments, there were sad moments, happy moments. It pretty much hit everything you would want in like a narrative-based game that's not specifically one genre, like horror or suspense or something like that. Now, what would I rate this game? Purely because of the optimization issues and everything, it's getting downgraded a little bit, with it still being $20 after 10 years. It's getting knocked down a little bit. I don't really care about the missing textures in some places, or the ground being broken up, the lighting issues, stuff like that doesn't bother me as much as optimization. If I had to give the game a rating, it would probably be... Let's understand one thing real quick of how a rating should go. A rating should be the game plus minus the cost of the game. If this game was $8 to $10 10 years later, to me, this is a solid 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10. But because it's retaining a $20 price 10 years later, there hasn't been a part 2, there hasn't been any updates to fix some of the optimization problems. I'm going to have to rate this one a 7.3 out of 10. Does that mean it's a bad game? No. I know a lot of people have a really weird way of rating things, where if something's a 6 out of 10, it's a bad game. I've never understood these metrics. I think this is because of schools in how schools grade things, and if you have a 50, that's failing. That's not how something should be rated. A 50 it's a middle. It's the middle ground. A 5 out of 10 would be in the middle. It could go either way. It could either be a bad game, it could be a good game. A 7, that's a good game. A 6, that's a playable game. 8 is great. 9, unheard of. 10, a 10 out of 10 game doesn't exist. Let's just be real. Doesn't exist. Thank you for stopping by and watching my
10-minute review.
Stay tuned for karma.